Hello. In this video, we talk about everything you need if you got a new puppy. This is your puppy starter kit, okay? Let's go through the most difficult things and what you need to prepare for to the easiest things. I would say the top two most difficult things are one, managing your sleep, and two, managing the potty schedule. So sleep is one of the most important and also challenging things because as human beings, we do need sleep. And when you start lacking sleep, especially when you have a full-time job, what happens is you get super cranky and you have low in energy and you start becoming delirious and everything bad happens. So you need to be prepared that when you get your new puppy, the first few weeks to up to a month, you're going to lack sleep because they do wake up at least 2 to 5 times throughout the night. So if you have a partner, then that's good because you guys can alternate. But then when the puppy sleeps in your room and it cries, everyone is going to wake up anyways. But I think you just have less disrupted of a sleep when your partner gets up and go all the way out to bring them potty instead of you. Good boy. What's happening? Do you need to potty? Do you need to potty? I think he might need to potty. Do you need to potty? Good boy. Yeah, so sleep, expect that you need to wake up 2 to 5 times throughout the night. And the best way you can make them sleep for longer and deeper is use white noise as a background sound or play some classical music which helps them to enter into a much deeper sleep, and give them as much playtime as possible throughout the day so they can burn their energy out. But you don't want to play too intensely before sleeping because they get too excited and it's harder for them to fall asleep. I need to take them out to potty. Okay, we're back. He just went potty. So yeah, usually 20 to 30 minutes, even if they didn't take a nap or eat or play, always take them out to potty. Going back to the sleep thing, do try to feed their last meal at about 5:30. I just remember I fed them at 6:30 or beyond and it was just messy. They needed to potty like all night because it messes with the digestion. If you think about the circadian rhythm, it's very much like caveman circadian rhythm. So we actually have that circadian rhythm, but it's just because we're modern humans now, so we don't have that anymore. But yeah, feed them at 5:30 or before then so they have time to digest and have their final poo-poo before going to bed. And also, you want to limit their water intake around 2 to 3 hours before they sleep, so then they have more of an empty bladder. All of these things would really help you to just settle them in for sleep. And that is so important because you don't want to be a sleep deprived, grumpy person. Next up is, what is next up? Next up is potty. Okay, so how do you potty train your puppy as fast as possible? This is all about conditioning. If possible, you don't want them to get used to a pee mat because if they get pee pad. If they get used to the pee pad, then they will associate indoor equals potty okay. What you want is indoor equals never potty. Outdoor equals grass equals potty. Or you might want to get them like a little grass patch to put in your balcony and then they can go there as well. But it's all about association for dogs. So as I said, after they play, sleep, nap, or every 20 to 30 minutes, or if they're sniffing about, you take them out straight away and say, go potty. And you say maybe 2 to 3 times and keep saying it. And as you're waiting for them to potty, you don't want them to feel pressured as well. So don't give like a very domineering stance, get like, go potty. And then, and look like you're very impatient, like you're putting your arms together and just like looking because they can really sense your tension. The best thing you can do is walk just a little bit around the radius of the potty area. Hello. And hum a little bit, act very relaxed so they can relax as well. And then when they're doing the thing, maybe don't stare right into them because that also can pressure them. Okay, so sleep, potty, what's the third thing? Third thing is, I think feeding and playing, right? What else do you do with the potty? feeding, training, and playing. Okay, so next up is training. How do you train your puppies so they don't bark like a crazy dog and they also follow commands and they are patient dogs? Again, this is all to do with conditioning and association. The easiest way you can start is, of course, start with the most simple commands such as sit, stay, shake, down. I think those are the most simple commands. Come, yes, okay. When they're just puppies, you don't want to give them too many commands because it can mess up with the memory. You really want to reinforce each one at a time and give it enough time to reinforce. So for example, Labradors are very, very smart, and usually I do each command maybe 10 to 20 repetitions in the beginning so they know this is a command. And with your youngest puppy, you could start training them to be patient before they eat. So it is a combination of sit and stay. You get them to sit. You can find all the videos on how to get your dog to sit online. And then, before you give them their food, you must ask them to stay. The longer they can stay, the more tolerance threshold they have and the more patience they have. And this is what you want as a foundation to training them for all the other stuff. Because if they're so impulsive and reactive all the time, it's hard to train them. And after you train them for sit and stay, you can then move on to down, which is an important one because you don't want them to be jumping on you. And you want them to calm down sometimes. If they're too excited, where you say down and you say stay, then they stay there for a bit and then they calm down. After that, you can train them for less essential things, like more cute things such as shake or leave it or back up. All of these things are important, but not as important as the first ones that I mentioned. What was the other one? Oh, also telling them to come is very important. That command, come, don't ever say come with a negative result. What I mean is, don't say come and then punish them because they're going to start associating come with a negative result and then they're not going to like to come anymore. Every time they come, you want to give them the biggest treat and the biggest pat and the biggest love of their life so they know come always means that something good is happening. What's happening? You want to play or you want to sleep? And yeah, so after all these training things, what else is important? Yeah, feeding, I think, as I said, you can combine the feeding and the training together in the beginning. And playing as well. I think playing, you can just play however you want with your dog. So, but all these other things are very, very important. If I remember any other things, I will just post another video. I hope this was helpful. See you in the next video. He's getting really impatient now.